The Toronto Raptors made some major changes to their roster this season through trades, but what if I told you that the change they could make within their roster that would seriously benefit their team for the rest of the season and potentially beyond? Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. This is Amateur Hour Sports, the YouTube channel completely dedicated to providing you with Toronto Raptors news coverage and analysis and videos just like this, as well as live stream watch parties for Raptors games and additional streams to cover the latest Toronto Raptors news. If you like what you see from today's video, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel, keep up to date with all the great content, hit the notification bell as well so you never miss out on anything. And hey, if you enjoyed this particular video along the way, make sure you have hit that like button. It really does support the channel. But today, we're talking about a change that the Toronto Raptors could make within their roster that I think would make a much better rest of the season here for a number of reasons, and kind of spoiled it with the title, kind of spoiled it as well with the thumbnail here. But the change that I am looking to see is within the starting five here. The Raptors, since all these trades went down, since the conclusion of the trade deadline, have stuck with this starting five so far to a varying degree of success. A lot of very poor performances have come out of it, but maybe not to the fault as much of the starting five here. But overall, the starting five they're going with right now is Immanuel Quickley, Gary Trent Jr., RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. And though I think it's a decently well-balanced starting five here, yes, an overall lack of talent on the roster in general, I think one switch could actually make this roster better for the rest of the season, and definitely would improve things for the Raptors going forward in the future. And that switch is to take Gary Trent Jr. out of the starting five and insert recent 13th overall pick by the Toronto Raptors, Gradey Dick. Gradey Dick, after a really tough start to his NBA career and a really tough start even to his G League career, seemingly is starting to hit stride with the Raptors and is really starting to find his range. Earlier on in the season, there were some great signs for Gradey Dick's game, not so on the defensive end, that definitely still needs some work, but on the offensive end, we saw why the Raptors drafted him. Maybe some people didn't quite see it, but because the shots weren't falling. He wasn't finding his range from three, wasn't adapting to the new three-point line compared from college to the NBA very well, and that gave some troubles shooting-wise. We saw this great hustle on offense, this great playmaking ability on offense, and his ability to be more than just a three-point shooter and getting to the rim and scoring on the inside as well. Now, a lot of the things weren't necessarily coming off for Gradey Dick, but the tendencies and the decision-making was always there for the player, and I maintained all throughout the season that this guy who has shot the life out of the three ball his entire life as a basketball player, there's no way all of a sudden he just forgot how to shoot the three ball. Once he gets his range down, he's going to start making some impact on NBA games, and that's what we've been getting over the last couple of weeks for the player, and it's been so good, I think. It's not been like tremendous, but it's been good enough to suggest to me that yes, Gradey Dick should be inserted into the starting five for Gary Trent Jr., and allow me to explain why over the course of this video. There's going to be two specific reasons why Gradey Dick should be inserted into the starting five, and for starters, we're going to talk about the abilities here. I am relatively new to jump on this bandwagon of Gradey Dick starting over Gary Trent Jr., and I recently just came over to last week. Up until this week, I was kind of like, Gary Trent's still the better player. You still want to get the most out of these games for the players that are on the court there, like Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Immanuel Quickley. It's probably better off for them starting with Gary Trent Jr. for now still, just to get the maximum output out of that starting five. Yes, the Raptors likely will be going into tank mode at some point, but as of right now, if guys are healthy, they're playing. And the Raptors are giving those starting players and those main guys significant minutes here because they are trying to win games still. Now, they're not very good at winning games, we know that, but I assure you, in the recent stretches of games, despite losing 4 out of the last 8 games by 23 points or more, the Raptors are trying to play well and are trying to win games. So if that is the goal, then I was thinking Gary Trent Jr. should stay in the starting five. But then I sort of had this epiphany in one of the pre-game watch party streams. We were discussing Gary Trent Jr., we were discussing Gradey Dick if he should start over him. And I would say, well, Gary Trent right now has been the better shooter statistically. Gary Trent Jr. on open threes this season has just been absolutely outrageously good. He has been dialed in from three this season when he's open. When he's not open, he doesn't really hit any. But when he's open, Gary Trent Jr. is hitting his threes. So much so that on the season, he's averaging just under 42% from beyond the arc. But other than the three-point game on wide open threes for Gary Trent Jr., what else does he really do better than Gradey Dick? Yes, Gary Trent is a better defender, but that's not really saying much. Gradey Dick, we know, is not a good defender. Gary Trent isn't exactly a great defender either. He's okay. He plays this very boomer bust style of defense where he'll go very hard to try and get a steal on a pass. If he gets there, yeah, it's a steal, but oftentimes he won't get there, and he'll be completely past the ball, past the defender, leaving a guy open. It's very boomer bust style of defense for Gary Trent Jr. As I said, that's what sort of makes him effective enough on that end, but it's not really enough to suggest that it's way better than what Gradey Dick can provide. And on the offensive end, I mean, I said Gary Trent Jr., he's shooting 41.8% on threes this season. He's shooting 41.6% overall from the field. So his 2-point percentage is very slightly lower than his 3-point percentage. He's shooting 41.3% on twos this season on 4.5 attempts per game, and he's shooting, like I said, 41.8% for 3 on 5.7 attempts. Now, obviously, effective field goal percentages come into play and all that, and with the field goal percentages, the 3 ball is more important for Gary Trent Jr.'s game, and more than half, well over half of his shots are coming from 3. Naturally, that field goal percentage is going to be a little bit lower, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that, yes, Gary Trent, when he's open for 3, is extraordinary and has been great this season, but other than that, what is he really providing to the Raptors offense? He is not good off the dribble, not a good 3-point shooter when he's contested, has really no ability to put pressure on the rim whatsoever. So, yeah, when he's open, he's hitting those threes, and that's some good floor spacing to the team. But Gradey Dick perhaps is going to be providing a lot more to the team. And that's where I was just thinking, what does Gary Trent do better than Gradey Dick does? Gradey Dick is a very good 3-point shooter when he's open, when he's contested, off the dribble, off of movement. And we're starting to see the signs of that really showcasing in the NBA. But even when he's covered for 3, even when there's an aggressive closeout on the 3, he has the presence of mind to make the right pass, the presence of mind to pump fake, step inside, get to the rim, make the right pass from there. Gradey Dick has just got much more of a versatile game to the offense. And I think that specifically his ability to hit different kinds of threes is going to make life easier for the likes of Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and Scotty Barnes with kick-out games, drive-and kick games, with passing around the perimeter. I think these things are going to elevate the teammates around just having that extra bit of dynamism on the outside from Gradey Dick, as well as, hey, he's a guy who clearly gets to the rim himself and makes some finishes on the inside. Gradey Dick has been very nice in this recent stretch of games. Not otherworldly, anything outrageous, but it's been good, and it's continuing to get better and has continued to get better over the course of the season, especially as his NBA minutes have started to increase, and really thinking they should increase even more, especially entering the starting 5 for this team. So from an ability standpoint, I think we're at the point here where Gradey Dick has surpassed Gary Trent in the output they could bring to the team. As efficient as Gary Trent has been this season, what a down year for scoring. Here's a guy who's averaging 19 points a game for the Raptors, right now averaging less than 12 points per game. Give Gradey Dick that opportunity in the starting 5, and even if right now you're on the fence about this, you're on the fence about the abilities here, and if Gradey Dick is ready to start ahead of Gary Trent Jr., what do the Raptors have to lose in this situation? Obviously, like I said earlier, they're trying to win games right now, and I kind of feel as though Gradey Dick starting would actually help the team do that to a certain degree. It won't be night and day, but I think it would be a positive effect in the starting 5 to put Gradey Dick instead of Gary Trent. But even if you're not fully convinced like myself, clearly Gradey Dick getting these minutes recently has aided with his development, and it's only going to help even more to get even more play time as the season goes on here. What are the Raptors really playing for at this point? Obviously, it'd be great to get into a play-in tournament position, but heading into the All-Star break, the Raptors are 5 games back of the 10th position. Realistically, what we're going to be looking for is, having those competitive games like the one against the Indiana Pacers where it comes down to the wire and the Raptors perform very well offensively. But the issue is you're likely not going to come close to making the play-in tournament, and you've got a top 6 protected pick sent out to the San Antonio Spurs that is probably going to be the priority for the Raptors at some point. We're not there yet. They're not there yet where they're tanking completely, but at some point, is that going to come into play? I think it's very likely. So why not in the stretch of games where you're trying to be competitive, give Gradey Dick those reps there? Is Gary Trent a part of the long-term future of the team? Question marks about how much he's going to be worth in the offseason as an upcoming free agent. Is he even going to be a Raptor next season? I will concede that we give a bit of a harsh rep on Gary Trent Jr. He does have the same birth year as Emmanuel Quickley. Gary Trent Jr. is 25 years old. He's by no means old, and You would expect he's getting better at this point in his career. Again, he's same birth year as Immanuel Quickley, 25 years old. Immanuel Quickley not yet turned 25. He's still 24 years old. And we don't give Gary Trent the same sort of development mindset, but I think that the issue and the reason behind that is just we've been waiting. We've been waiting to see this development arc for Gary Trent, but if anything, since his first season with the team, he's only declining in ability, and we've seen a sharp decline this season. So not as much confidence from my end that this is going to go anywhere better. But Gradey Dick, there's got to be a much higher ceiling for this player. So give him those opportunities. Like, I think from a play standpoint, how they're playing right now, ability, Gradey Dick is already making a very strong case. But considering the development factor, Gradey Dick's here to stay. Gary Trent may not be here at the start of next season. So all things considered for me, it's almost a no-brainer decision here. Gradey Dick should be starting at the shooting guard for the Toronto Raptors. Not only will it help his development, but I think it will help the team right now, and it will definitely help for Gradey Dick and therefore help the team for years beyond to provide and have these opportunities at the NBA level playing with the best players on the team. But you guys let me know what your opinion is. Should Gary Trent Jr. continue to start, or should Gradey Dick take his place? Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. That's all for me for today. Thanks so much for watching this video. Drop a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel. Not only do you get great Raptors content if you subscribe, but also we're giving away 2 Scottie Barnes All-Star jerseys when this channel hits 17,000 subscribers. So great Raptors content, and get ready for a giveaway. 2 great things in the way. We'll see you again next time for another video.